on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live again today. We might as well, right? Things are looking good, and we might as well get our broadcast out there before Roaring Kitty comes and takes the stage. Today is looking very, very nice. After we had that data drop, it looks like the S&P 500 dropped down and bounced off of previous support. So it looks like this support that we were holding at 531 is looking pretty good. So let's make sure that we can hold this today. I'd actually like to see a beautiful hold here and even a trading sideways day to let those moving averages catch up. So we'll see. Well, while we are waiting for people to join, I'm going to make sure that I have everybody I need to in here. Let me send out some invites. Let everybody know we're doing this thing, baby. We're doing it, baby. Oh yeah. All right. Let me just bring up the YouTube. Make sure we get everything going on, baby. Gotta make sure it's going on. All right, cool. I already see you hitting that love. Much love right back to you, brother. Brother man, Dan Bob, the greatest moderator alive. I'm sure he is in here. If not, it's good to see you. What I need to do is get this sent out to the Facebook. We gotta send it out to the Facebook groups. Let's do it. Do it. Sending it out now. Sending it out now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's good to see you. We just had that data drop. The unemployment numbers dropped. Have a good day at Cedar Point. Love you. Love you. Wife is taking off. She's going to have some fun with the kiddo. While I sit here and make some money, baby. All right, let's see what we got going on. We got about 4 minutes until the market open. I'm just trying to get everything set out here for you guys, and then we can have a great show. It's gonna be a good day. Yeah, that SPY bounce off that previous support, I think that was the shakeout. At least I hope that was the shakeout, because I got a lot of money in the market right now, and that pullback, just that little bit of a pullback, brought my P&L down probably $600, $700. Obviously, I'm not sweating it. You know, I got all my stops in place in case something does happen. We made a ton of money yesterday, but we're just making sure we're keeping a close eye on the market. We are risk on as long as we're above a 10 and 21 day moving average. So it's good to see all that happening right now. So that bounce right now, the S&P 500 is trading at 533.37. And I think I have everything out right now. There we go. All right, cool. Let's do this, guys. So the S&P 500 at 533.39. We're getting ready to open up right now. Let's take a look at the IWM. It looks like the IWM took an even bigger hit there. So it's nice to see a pullback, but we want to see it holding above the 50-day moving average, and it is not. Oh, I forgot. Let me grab my coffee, and let me get this thing set up really quick, too, as well. Whoop! Coffee, coffee! Gotta have your coffee, baby. I poured me a big old cup and forgot to bring it on over here. Here it is. Oh yeah. Now we can have a good market show. Woo. Still way too hot. Too hot. Hot damn. All right. What else we need to do is make sure we bring up you guys in the chat. So if you guys are chatting, I can be aware of it. So let me bring that up too. There we go. All right, here we go. Now we're good to go. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ants and elephants, whatever the hell you are. It's good to see you on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. I'm in the beautiful state of Michigan, right near Lake Erie, and I tell you what, I can feel a cool breeze coming in. It is a beautiful day outside. I probably won't stream for very long, probably stream until about 11, maybe 10:30, 11. We'll stream until then. Once the market volatility starts to come back down, we'll head on out and go enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day. This Friday is going to be amazing. The only thing I really have on watch right now is rent. I like this trend on the daily. It came down here. You can see it much better on the hourly. You can see this big downtrend here. If it breaks out above this today, I might take a few shares. I freed up a little bit of money after that GME trade yesterday after we sold. I freed up some money, so I have some purchasing power. So that way we can get into something else. But other than that, I'm holding ANF, which had a big pullback with the overall market today. My stop loss is at break even. I took a quarter of my shares out at that 178. So we're still up about $300 in this trade. We've already made our money in this trade. We're going to let this thing ride. If it breaks me out for break even, I will not take a loss. We have ASTS, which had a little bit of a pullback as well this morning, still lingering at those all-time highs. Or close to. We're up about $373 on that trade, just kind of holding on to that. We have First Solar, which should be stopping me out first thing in the morning as it opens up. That should be a nice stop out for me on that trade. A loss around $250, it looks like. I tried to get into this, and you know what? By the way it looks, I should probably give it a little bit more time, but this was my stop area. So if it shakes me out and it stops me out, then hey, I'm out of it. I'm fine with that. A part of me kind of wants to just see how this thing opens. Maybe it pops back up on the open. But this is where my stop loss is, and I want to make sure that I stay true to my stop losses. So that's what I'm going to do there. Market is open, ladies and gentlemen. It's awesome to see you guys today, and I'm glad you are here with me. So there we go. We are out of FSLR. We also need to bring up one last thing here, and that is if we have any alerts go off, just keep in mind that I am going to be calling them out. Those aren't buy or sell recommendations, but they are going to be watch. You need to watch them where they are at. RSKD was also another one we got into on this breakout. It went skyrocketed, pull right back down, and now it's in its basing area one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and set my alert on this, because multiple times have I seen this happen where it rip tater chips, pulls back down into that area of resistance, and then it cannot, or then it breaks back out above. So we took a small loss. Actually, we didn't take a loss on this. We broke even on this, but the P&L for the day is just showing me where the close from previous day is. It came back down, but we did not actually take a loss on RSKD. NVDL still continuing to pull back here. It's starting to break down below that 65, which is, do keep in mind, NVDA. So it is NVDA. NVDA is trying to hold on to that 1184 area. We're going to see if it wants to hold on to there. Remember, after market tonight, guys, and the after hours, they are going to be having a 10-to-1 split. This increases the market's volatility for NVDA. So do keep that in mind, okay? We have LFLY, which is in play today. This is a crazy fast mover, so you need to be very, very careful when you're looking at something like this. It just opened up. It's ripping to the north side, but there's not much you can do with this trade until it starts to set up. We are keeping an eye on Bitcoin today. Why? Well, Bitcoin broke out of this area I was telling you was a very important area, this 72,266. So this is the red line I was telling you was an important area. It broke out above it this morning. I actually tried to take a little piece of IREN for some continuation, and then when the market data came out at 8:30, it dropped down. I exited out immediately, but I reset my alert because I am expecting this to climb back up if the S&P 500 also wants to continue bouncing off this area of support. If it bounces and continues higher, then I will be wanting to get in. What's up, Jimmy Bright? Good morning to you. I hope my coffee's cooling down a little bit. Woo! It's a warm coffee, but it is a nice cool day outside, sunny out, absolutely beautiful. Let's see what we got going on. So nice pullback for this. For ASTS, guys, I'm just keeping an eye on it. Okay, here we go. RSKD just went back off, and Tesla too. RSKD, we'll just take a quick glance at this. I really want to give this a little bit more time before I just go willy-nilly getting back into this thing. Plus, we want to see volume. But I want to see Tesla. And Tesla is looking like it's starting to break out of this area. Now, look, guys. This is very, very important right here. Let's throw this up on the hourly. Okay, so this is what Tesla looks like. Look at this pennant forming right here, okay? It hasn't been able to get through this area. It has not been able to get through this area. A part of me wants to just take a short here and play it back down to this base and play this range trade. Another part of me wants to say, hey, I'm hands off because I'm bullish on this trade. So I'm keeping an eye on it because if we can see volume come into this area, then I'd like to see it continue higher. Now, right now, if you look at the 1 minute, yes, it does look like it's getting some volume, but it's not crazy amount of volume than it would normally trade in this area. So is it going to break out above today? Well, reluctantly, I would hate to say it, but it doesn't look like it's going to. Just not a ton of volume. Now we can look at, Tesla on here to see if we're getting higher than average volume. The average volume for the day is 80 million and we are already at 1.61 million. So that's a pretty good sign that it has enough push, enough inertia to get it up through here. I would like to use this as our capitulation area, which is the 179 area. If it can get above this 179, then yes, I think we are going to start seeing a bigger, badder run in Tesla. But I'm not going to just try and grab a hold of this share to see if it's going to work. I'd much rather take a short and have that as my stop loss, And that might be a plausible trade, but I'm not in the mood to try and get in and catch a day trade on something like that. I want to let it set up and let it tell me what the overall consensus is before getting into something like that. So these are just my thoughts, guys. This is thoughts from a day trader, right? Reminiscence of a day trader. No, it's just my thoughts as I'm going through it, as I'm thinking it. I want you guys to understand my thought process, so that way you can better understand the psychology behind what is going on upstairs. LFLY, Leafly Holdings, this really pushed up, but there's not much going on here except for the incredible volume that you see pushing it up off this base. So it's an incredible amount of volume, but there's not much you can do with it when it's extended. Now, if you wanted to wait for a bounce off the VWAP area, that might be a trade. These aren't buy and sell recommendations. I've been wrong many times before. Especially in my career in trading, I've been wrong many times. So do keep that in mind. Anything that I say or do cannot be held against me. So ASTS. So I was talking to Mo Wealth yesterday about ASTS. I'm expecting this thing to have a pullback. I'm expecting it to come back down and bounce off this 10-day moving average. The 10-day is just now getting above my break-even area. So each day this stays above the 10-day, each day I'm making more money, even if it's just trading sideways on this last piece. So I did hold 900 shares. I'm down to 300 shares now. So we want to see the S&P 500 hold above 531.50. That is the main area, 531.50. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. Let's see. Is A&F going to give me that bounce? I really like the way A&F trades. The last time I traded this, it broke above this area and continued and followed this 10-day moving average. I would love to see this thing hold that 10-day moving average. Just not even have to think about it. NVDL is I'm sorry, I should just start saying NVIDIA. NVIDIA is starting to pop back up here, back into that area of VWAP. I'm gonna see what it wants to do. Can you guys, Jimmy, can you hear the music okay? QQQs are looking pretty good up here. IWM's still pulling back. Yeah, that IWM is showing a lot of weakness today. I don't like the looks of that. NASDAQ, Dow Jones looks like it's really pulling back. Wow, the RSP had a big pullback as well. It needs to hold this area. If it doesn't hold this area, it definitely shows that the breadth in the market is failing us. The VIX Volatility Index had a little pop today, but it's nothing crazy. See the dollar. The dollar is on the rise. The dollar had a big pop this morning, actually. Look at that pop, right at 8:30. When that unemployment data came out, this thing just launched to the north side. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin took a big pullback. When I say big, I'm talking, what? This is probably like less than 1%, right? So 1.85%. And then it's popping back up here, just kind of trading sideways. I was really hoping we'd get the breakout today. I was really hoping for that. Just so that way I could make some more money today, right? Yesterday was a crazy good day. Crazy good day in the market. We made a ton of money in the market. That was just such a sweet day. Really enjoyed it. So now, you know, there's got to be some repercussions. You got to have a little bit of a pullback. But I was hoping to find an in trade, something to trade, so that way we could fight against that that pullback. It's good coffee, guys. Good coffee. The music's a little low. Yeah. Let me turn this up just a skoosh. A skoosh. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. How's that? Let me know if it's too loud. I like it to be where my voice is just over top of it. I guess I could listen in on my end here really quick. We can hear it over here. Yeah. Yeah, I like it there. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that. I forgot that I have it running on my other account, so that way I can hear what it sounds like while I'm playing it. So, yeah, I like to have a little lo-fi music on in the background. I hope you guys enjoy it. So that way, if there's any dead air, it's like we're chilling. It's like we're chilling. We're watching the market together. We're anticipating trades. Not anticipating, but reacting to trades. Yeah, last night was just lit. We had a good time in the Discord. That was awesome. Really enjoyed that. So ANF is having a big pullback. When I say big, I'm just talking big because I got quite a few shares in this thing, and it was just looking so juicy. I mean, this thing was juicy fruiting up here at this top. At 178, we ended up getting a quarter of this out because I knew after such a big run that we were probably going to have a pullback. So I took a piece out because I'd hate to lose all the money that I put in. 100 shares of this, when you go from 172 to 178, that's what, $600? Let's see, yeah, that's $600. So $600 on this trade. We ended up taking a quarter of that out. And then it's just pulling back. And the thing with ANF is it's a leader in this market, right? It's a leader in the market. So if the S&P 500 continues to hold and continues to head higher or even head sideways, it's going to be really, really advantageous for me to continue to hold ANF. Okay, so we need to keep that in mind when you are playing these downtrends and you play the break and you exit some out. I always bring my stop up to break even to help protect the trade. Right now, I am at break even, and I've had a lot of times where it comes down and stops me out. So some people like to keep it at their original stop, but personally, just because I love to compound my account, I'd rather take more trades and make smaller wins than take a bigger loss and lose on more trades. So that's just my psychology behind it. Everybody's different. It's very discretional when it comes to trading, but we do teach the trend breakout strategy, the base breakout strategy, and episodic pivots, which, speaking of which, now this isn't an episodic pivot, but I do want to keep an eye on rent because I was wanting to see if this thing could break above this area and continue as a trend breakout. I noticed last night on its earnings, hey look, we got some volume. Excuse me, we got some volume coming in. So if this thing does want to start to take off, that might be very nice. And and look at this, right as we talk, here it comes now. Might want to end up taking this. Just me personally, this isn't buy or sell recommendations. I don't recommend anybody else taking this, especially because, let's bring this up on here, guys. So RENT, you guys can see, it's not the biggest earnings. It's not anything crazy. I'm literally just playing the price action on this, okay? And also, if you look at the volume, we can see the average volume in the day is only 331,000. That's pretty bad. And right now it's traded 25,000, so it's not doing anything crazy. I just had an alert go off though. What was that for? I know it wasn't right. Let's see. RSI, guys. All right, RSI looks like it's trying. Oh, it looks like there's a little bit of volume there too. I might just get in a few shares really quick, and then we'll add to this. We'll add to this if it wants to take off, but it wants to break down, back down below this area. I'm not gonna mess with it. So we're just gonna keep a close eye on RSI. I saved a little buying power out for this. for this trade and a few others in case they do pop up. So we'll see. But we're also going to keep a really close eye on Tesla as well. Don't want to forget about Uncle Tesla here in this area. As I was telling you guys before, I did expect this to be short, that we weren't going to get up through this, but if we do, this might be a really nice trade for the overall account. I like that bounce off VWAP too. Looks like it's trying to hold. We'll see. We will see. See the volume coming in from previous day. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy. It's about average. But we are in RSI as the overall market is pulling back. So we're going against the grain. Oh no, the market's starting to come back up. That's nice. The market's starting to come back up. So if RSI wants to continue higher, that would be advantageous. But we took it on this little volume pop here and got in. Now we're getting a little bit of a pullback. If it wants to break and give back all of that pop from that volume, I'll be out of it. But I do like the way that this thing bounced off the 10-day again. And if it can just get going on some volume, I mean, I would love to see this thing have a nice trend or a base breakout. That would be beautiful. There's some more volume coming in here. Like I said, it's nothing crazy. Let's look at RSI on the RSI on here. Let's take a look. So the average is 2 million volume on a 2 billion market cap, and it's traded 69,000 so far. So not a lot of volume coming in first thing this morning. It's not anything crazy or anything to really even talk about. But this Tesla is definitely something to talk about because this trend-based breakout is looking really, really good. Really, really good. We're going to keep an eye on Tesla today, RSI today, and then obviously the overall market and the trades that I'm already in. Okay? That's what we're keeping an eye on. And if you guys have something that you want me to take a look at, just throw it in the chat. Is there something in play that I'm not seeing? Let me know. I'll take a look at it. We'll see what we can do. I don't really have anything on my gap up scanner when it comes to earnings. The only thing I have, we have VERO, which is, you know, up 126,000. It's a penny stock. You know, what do you expect on this thing? I don't see too much going on. I don't see any really, anything really nice of a trade. Back here was a nice trade. I think this was yesterday, but then this happened in the aftermarket. So we also have LFY, but this thing is just, I don't know. It's kind of a nothing burger. I'm not seeing anything set up just yet. We can come back and keep an eye on it. But right now, we're just keeping an eye on RSI. We're going to see if this thing wants to take off. We got about 1,000 shares in this right now. We took it on this volume blurb here, but we want to see if it's going to actually hold this area, hold its breakout area. If not, we'll take a small loss. That's not that big of a deal. We also are keeping an eye on Tesla. Tesla's our main watch. We're watching ANF. ANF is on our main watch simply because I'm in it. I took this trade about 3 days ago. We're up $236 on my last third. I have 2/3 left of this trade still. I'm sorry. I have 3/4 still left on this trade. I took 1/4 out yesterday at this top up here just because I was expecting a pullback after such a beautiful push. So that's what we got. We got B. Stewie in the house. What's going on? Oh, ARM, yeah. Take a look at ARM. Oh, look at ARM is definitely in play. Look at that beautiful push. And oh my gosh, good for you. I'm B. Stewie, I know you're in this. Predator says, oof, looks like the market's responding to the Roaring Kitties plans stream later. They halted AMC already. Yeah, his stream is at 12, so I'm gonna allow him to take over the show. I'll allow him to be my guest. No, only kidding. Yeah, he's coming on at noon, and it's gonna be awesome. He's gonna do what he needs to do. He's gonna, get people really excited. But the market's not responding to Roaring Kitty. GME is not moving the S&P 500. Matter of fact, I don't even know if GME is in the S&P 500. Let's see. It's in NYSE, so the NASDAQ, I believe. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's in the NASDAQ, NYSE. But the S&P 500 pulled back on that data. I posted it all for you guys. The economic data, I can bring it up for you. We can go over it really quick. But the economic data came out. It showed, we've seen this before. It showed positive results, meaning, the non-farm payroll was up, okay, and the unemployment was up. Now, the unemployment being up should be great for that inflation. And non-farm payrolls is up, which should be bad, right? Because, let's just click on it. I'll read it to you verbatim so that way there's no confusion. But when you look at this economic calendar, you'll see that sometimes good news is bad news for the overall market. But you have to understand, too, that when we have such a big push, okay, non-farm payroll measures the change in numbers of people employed during the previous months. So we have we have higher employment, which is going to be bad. So it's like conflicting news there. When you have conflicting news, it can be fearful in the market. But we had a big pullback, but you have to understand that pullback bounced off where? Right off of that support. When we're up, extended from a 10-day moving average like that, you can expect to see a bounce in the market. Okay, you can't just continue ripping up to the north side and constantly go straight up. We have to come back down. We have to bounce off these areas. That's just what it did. And right now we're bouncing, we're holding respectively. So far, we're holding that VWAP area respectfully. So I think it's part of the NASDAQ. I'm not 100% sure though. I didn't want to spend too much time on there and leave a bunch of dead space. But we're down about $45 for the day in Abercrombie and Fitch. But like I said, guys, I'm staying true to this. The RSI just stopped me out. So RSI, I usually will take it on those breakouts. So we took about $100 loss on that, just trying that. We're going to reset though. I want you guys to keep this in mind. I'm resetting this area for my alert. So that way, if it comes back up here again, and I see that volume come in, like we have right here, I consider this a good trade. I don't care about this trade at all because I'm happy with my process. I played this trade, I played the breakout, and then it pulled right back down. Now, if this wants to come right back up here, look at this. Here comes some more volume. And if it comes right back up here again, I will take another trade on this, and you guys will see me do it live here, okay? I'm not afraid to do this because I have seen this so many times where I get in and I exit out the trade. Now, yes, I usually use that low of day. I'm trying to get a better area of risk, okay? I'm trying to take higher risk multiple, so I'm making my risk tighter. Now, this might deem unprofitable for the day, but I can tell you over the amount of time that I take this, if I do it right, one trade is going to pay for 10 losses, okay? And a lot of the times I've seen this thing break down and then come right back up, get bought and back up, and then head on higher. That's why I don't mind retaking this trade, especially if there's volume that's deciding it's going to push it up with me, okay? So keep that in mind. These aren't buy or sell recommendations. It's me playing this, right? These are my ideas. These are not your ideas. We do love our trend-based breakouts, though. It's good to see you, Predator. Good to see you, B. Stewie. Yeah, ARM, man. I wish there was something I could do with ARM, man. I mean, if I would have seen this earlier, a VWAP bounce, just like it has been, because we've seen VWAP bounces many times off of it before. This has another VWAP bounce off this. Maybe we get another VWAP bounce. Regardless, it's playing very, very well. It's playing like you knew exactly what you're doing, B. Stewie. So congratulations on that trade, dude. I absolutely love seeing this trade. I love seeing this. So ANF back up to where it closed yesterday. ASTS just lingering around that VWAP area as NVIDIA is trying to hold its VWAP area as well. The S&P 500 is trading at 534.11 right now, which is very good sign. It's almost back up to where that data was dropped and it came right back down. That bounce was very clean, and now we're seeing a lot, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say a lot of volume. We're seeing some volume come into the market trying to push it higher. So it's good to see that, guys. What else are you guys watching? We'll definitely keep an eye on ARM. And you know what I need to do? I need to run through my watch list down here really quick. So here's Rent, R-E-N-T. You can see Rent is trying. I do have my alert set right there at that $27 area. What else do we have? Let me get this out of the way. Okay. We can get this out of the way so you guys can see it. So we have GME. So GME had an epic push yesterday. That was beautiful. If you guys were here with me, we played this. We exited a lot of the trade out right here, making an amazing, amazing gain. We made around 27% roughly. I'm just giving a quick measurement. It's between 27 and 35% that we made yesterday on one trade. It was like a quick $1,000 that we made within an hour and a half, okay? So I was very, very happy with that trade, and I was hoping that GME would continue to play. I was hoping it would continue to run, but they had an offering today. Actually, we could even talk about that for a second. We can talk about we could talk about the offering. So they offered $75 million in common shares. All right, so June 7th at 6:45 this morning. So we can even look right at where 6:45 was right here. Look at this. Oh, what happened? 6:45, they have an offering. Well, then they just completely dump on their investors. This is what we call dilution. So what is dilution? Well, it's where you, let's say GameStop, what's the market cap for GameStop, okay? Let's look it up. Let's do some ingenious stuff right here. Here, we'll just take this, and we could probably just go ahead and flip this thing. Can we turn it? There we go. So market cap on GME, let's see, we should find it right here, is $12.12 billion. All right, so they took a $12.12 billion stock. They offered $75 million in common share, and then they just sell off into it, right? Now, every pop you see is probably going to sell off into it. Now, we're still holding an uptrend. There's no doubt about that on the daily. If you look at the overall time frame, we still are holding an uptrend. So we still might be able to fight through that. So hopefully GME takes the $75 million and actually does something with it. Okay, so on a $1 billion market cap, a $75 million shares isn't going to completely ruin the stock, okay, but it's definitely going to show that there is some dilution, and here is that dilution. They're diluting their stock. They're watering down their shareholders right now. So anybody who actually owns GME or has shares in GME, the second they come out with a file like this that says they're filing to offer 75 million shares, it's taking that share that you have and it's making it worth less because they're adding more shares and they're diluting your shares. You know, it's like taking your cup of Kool-Aid and they're adding more water to it. You have less Kool-Aid in there. You have less sugar, right? We want more sugar. Put an extra packet in there, damn it. So that's the thought behind that. And if you guys have any questions about that, I hope I explained it well enough for you. But that's how I see it. That's how I explain it. And it doesn't look like you do, so that's good. WULF, we're just continuing to watch WULF. If you guys remember, we played this yesterday on this. I played this breakout on $2.81. We also added into it on this 5-minute breakout, just like we did for GME, only earlier in the day. And we got most all of our shares out here and another piece out here. I took this break again and got the rest out up here. And then I'm just letting it play out. And we are also keeping an eye on IREN, because if Bitcoin wants to continue to run, which I think in the very near future, BTC is going to run. And look at this, we're right back up here in this area. So it's very, very important to keep an eye on this area because it keeps bouncing its head. Just like I tell you guys about resistance areas. Look at this, resistance. Let me put this on the hourly so you can see this a little better. Look at this, resistance. Why do I say resistance so much? Because it's bouncing off of it so many times. And look, it's creating new higher lows. Like, look, I don't mean to draw too many lines, but you can see it's holding this area. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Just like those base breakouts we talk about, it's happening on Bitcoin real time. Okay, so why do we look at WULF and IREN? because right now WULF and IREN are runners with the Bitcoin miners. So if Bitcoin goes up, obviously the inherent risk of miners is going to go down, and you can get a hold of some of these and take them to the longer side. So I like to keep a very close eye on this. I played this morning actually, and it came back down, and then it started ripping right back up. So maybe we play a little bit of a bounce just for funsies. We'll play a bounce off of this VWAP, guys. We're gonna be talking a little bit more about VWAP very soon, but we'll just take a small share size right here on this VWAP area, and we'll use the bottom of this VWAP as our stop loss. So if it breaks down below this VWAP, we'll get out for a small loss, just to play this, to give you a little bit of entertainment. Okay, so this VWAP here, right here, we took a small loss this morning. That's why you see the P&L for the day at 163, because I played this break. I played, let's see, what did I play? Let me take a look. Right here, I played this breakout in the pre-market, then the data dropped, and so I exited out on a miss immediately. So we took a very small loss, I think about $150 or something like that. And now it's pushing back up and continuing higher. So now we're trying to see if it wants to bounce again off this VWAP area, as well as keeping an eye on Bitcoin. So here's BTC. Here's Bitcoin. It hit that resistance area again. If it can continue to hold this trend line that we're seeing right here, if it can continue to hold that trend line and continue higher and break through this on volume, that would be absolutely great. Now, it also depends on the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 wants to continue higher, which it looks like we're starting to see some volume coming in this ETF to continue its trend higher, then I think IREN still has a more benefits to actually holding this. And right now we're up about, well, we were up $35 on the trade. It's just teetering around that VWAP area. So we'll see what happens with this. I like to give it some time. Your boy Danny just messaged me on FFIE. Oh, look at that beautiful trade. FFIE, sympathy play, 7-2. Yeah, well, I wish I would have seen this one sooner. I haven't been watching FFIE in a long time, but you can see my charts are wonking out on us, guys, but you can see here, this was a nice little trend break here on the intraday. Now, of course, as you know, I don't condone or try to teach anybody playing that intraday play, but it is a beautiful play that he got a hold of. All right, we're up about $70 on the IREN trade. We're gonna let this thing ride though. I'm not too excited about it. It is what it is. We're gonna see if it can continue higher, because if Bitcoin wants to break out today and I have IREN, you better believe this stock is in trade. Now, this is an intraday trade, guys. This isn't like a long-term hold. This is like a buy for the day kind of hold, and then relieve myself of 3/4 of my shares and let the rest ride. All right, and the only reason why I say that is because it's so extended already. See how extended this is? This isn't the base or the trend breakout that I normally teach you guys. This is a VWAP bounce. All right, it's a VWAP bounce. So keep that in mind. This isn't anything crazy, right? It's actually finding some resistance right here, creating a kind of a head and shoulders right here. So it's not looking the best right now. We just got to keep an eye and see if Bitcoin's giving us any clues, which it looks like it's holding, and the S&P 500, which it looks like it's holding out pretty well. So that gives me more confidence in the confluency of the overall markets to see if it's going to continue to head higher. SISI is what Predator is watching. We could take a little peeky gander there, and look at that. It is holding out very well. It looks like it's breaking the new all-time highs right here in this area. And also this is actually a big deal for SISI for you, Predator, because I know you're in it. But it broke this area of resistance. I'll just mark this area of resistance out here, right here for you. And you can see this area of resistance, it's bonked its head 1, 2, 3 times on it. Why? Because that was the highest area that it was being shorted previous to this day, okay? So then it has now broken out above that, which is going to show, especially on this volume, continuation. So I like SISI. I would love to see more continuation on that play. And here we go. IREN is getting a nice little pop, but again, this isn't the pop that I'm really waiting for. I guess I could sell 500 of my shares right here, just so that way we're in the money. Well, it pulled back now on me, but that's what we'll do. We're gonna sell 500 of the shares right now. And then what we're gonna do is bring my stop up to break even. and that's the VWAP bounce play, guys, right there. That's the VWAP bounce play. I played the VWAP bounce. It bounced up. We made, I don't know, what, $75 on that trade, and now it's pulling back down. If it can hold the area at which I bought it at and continue higher, then I'll let this last 500 ride for the rest of the day. You know, no big deal. And that's the VWAP bounce play. I did it right here for you right now. So I bought a 10 call on IRN, sold this morning for a bit of profit. Thank you for the trade info. Sandra McDonald, glad you're in here. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, you know, we like to follow these. We like to keep what's in play on the radar. And we know with Bitcoin being right here, it's on the radar, but it looks like it's starting to break down on this trend. We still have VWAP that it could bounce off of, but we look at the daily here and we can see like, this is just teetering right here on this area. It's got this cup, it's got this handle, it's got this trend break that's already broken out of. You know, there's a lot here going on for Bitcoin, so why not look at the fastest movers like IREN or WULF? It's common sense in a rule. It's just common sense. So I am in a position of IREN, but only 30 shares. Muley, where'd you buy? Was that today, yesterday, 3 days ago? Now, also remember too, Muley, it's all about the process, right? So if you took it off of like a VWAP bounce or something like that, you know, don't hold on to this thing for a loss just because it's only 10 shares. You want to play it using the percentages, right? So if you have 10 shares, you need to play the percentage of that 10, or not even the play of the 10 shares. You want to play the percentage of your account. So if 10 shares is a lot in your account, you only have a $100 account, that's perfectly fine. You know, you have $100 in this thing, make sure you play it right. You know, if you have $100 and you make $10 on this thing, you know, that's 10%. That's absolutely amazing, you know, to make 10% on any play. So do keep that in mind, guys, when you're playing this. It doesn't matter if you only have 10 shares. I think you are absolutely in the right for taking 10 shares, especially if you're learning. You know, that I respect everybody when you take smaller shares, because when I started, I started with small shares, but then I moved up too fast, too quick. That was my issue. I wanted to make money too fast, too quick. Okay, so, but that was the play right there, guys. That's all I was looking for in that play. And now I'm letting the last half, this is for the dream, you know? And if it comes down and it stops me out like it just did, then so be it. I'm out right now and I'm happy with the money that I made on that trade. That last 500 was for the dream and to see if this thing wanted to really continue higher. So now we can carry on with this, but we're gonna keep a very close eye on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin here, I do think can break out. Will it be today? Will it be next week? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But I know when it does break, these things tend to get to running. As you guys can see way back here, when it finally broke out of this area, I mean, this thing that was capitulation right there. I mean, it just ripped. And it was absolutely beautiful to see. And that's just kind of what I'm looking at for this here, guys. And I'm looking for another flag formation, especially because this has been drawn out for so long. You know, I would love to see this thing take off higher. And I'll get back into IREN if that time does come. Now, the SPY looks like it's just trading sideways now, but it's above that VWAP, so it's still holding out pretty well. I do like where it's at, still close to those new all-time highs. Muley, thank you. Don't thank me, thank you. Appreciate you being here. All right, let's continue through this. So I was watching SOUND. This doesn't look like it's a nothing burger right now. We have ENPH, which kind of pulled back. This is your clean energy. As you guys seen, I got stopped out of FSLR this morning. That was part of the clean energy makeup, which we can go back and take a look at FSLR just to see how it's doing. And look at that. Look at that, guys. It stopped me out and then ripped up to the north side. And that's part of trading for you. It came back, it stopped me out of my position. I think I lost a total of $186. I think I lost actually a little bit more on this trade. But it stopped me out, and then look at that. That's trading for you guys. And I know if you guys haven't experienced this before, you will over and over and over again, but I have to respect my stop losses. If you guys were with me first thing this morning, I said maybe I should just let this ride and see where it's gonna go in the morning. I don't wanna just exit out first thing this morning because I think it's gonna pop back up. And sure enough, this thing opened up, dipped down, and then just ripped right back up, and is above my break-even area. But you know, guys, that's part of trading, and that's hilarious. Now I'm not going to get back into this. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for another setup. Okay. So when I look at this, I think, oh man, you know, this really sucks. You know, I really wish I would have held on to it, right? Bounce off that 10-day. It was absolutely beautiful. But this also gives me more confidence in this trade for the near future. Meaning, if I was in the right trade and I'm choosing the right trades and I'm choosing the right sectors and the hot sectors that are in this, you can look at FSLR and say, okay, it stopped me out once, but that's okay. It's not ready to take off. So now I can set my alert. Let's just set it up here again. And we'll say, well, if this thing starts forming a nice base, which it is, and it breaks out of the space on volume, then I'll be willing to take it again. Just like I said with RSI. So RSI, it stopped me out, and I'm willing to take it again very, very soon. Now ANF, I've already taken a quarter out, so it stops me out. I've already made my money on this trade, right? ASTS, I've taken quite a few shares out of this, and that's why my stop is at break even, and I'm willing to take that break even because I've already made my money on this trade. So there's many different ways to play this, but we need to keep on keeping on with the watch list. So we have WIX also on here. Can you take a look at Lyft? Yeah, we'll go back to Lyft. That's fine. So Lyft is up 55.45%. It's just breaking down now. So you guys have to keep in mind with these stocks, these are still penny stocks or OTC stocks. Even though they're above a penny, these are still considered penny stocks. They're just garbage stocks, okay? This is what we call a pump and dump, because if you look before, every time it pumps up, it dumps, you know, pumps up, dumps, pump up, dumps, pump ups, dumps. You can see right here it pumped up and then split, and it's just on this huge downtrend. So right now we got this nice little pop. Sure, it's got a lot of volume here, but it's just looking like a pump and dump. So now what I need to wait and see is some type of formation. Are we going to get some type of formation? Now this is on the 1 minute, so it's a little bit faster looking, but will this thing set up, you know, like a trend break or something like this? But I'm just not seeing anything yet. You know, and that's why we train our eyes. That's why I have those videos out. So, it looks like Mo Wealth took FSLR. That son of a gun. So yeah, Lyft is interesting because of the volume, but you have to understand it's given back most of that push, almost all of that push. If we look at the daily here, you can see it's almost given back all of that push. So, you know, it's not really holding anything. It needs to hold, you know, at least half of those gains from the morning or from pre-market in order for me to be interested. So maybe something sets up on it very soon. I would love for it to, because I'd love to make fast, easy money, but I'm just not seeing it right now. So definitely something we're gonna come back and take a look at. SMTC, if you guys remember, I brought this up because of the earnings. And look at this, earnings brought it way up here, and then it just sold off super hard, super quick. This is why you have stop losses, guys, but I didn't play this because it was not an episodic pivot. This already had a pre-run up, a base. It reached new all-time highs and then just sold off very, very hard, very fast. We have SG. I know some of you guys in the chat were watching SG. SG is looking absolutely amazing. We've been talking about this restaurant sector for over a month now, and that it's hot, and that you guys need to keep these on your watch list. I talked about Cava, C-A-V-A. I talked about SG, which is now trading at $34.74. When we were talking about it, it was trading at what, $24? You know, that was before the earnings. So things are looking really good for the restaurant sector. We also have Chipotle, a Texas Roadhouse. We talked about all of these guys, and they're all doing very, very well. RSKD, this is why we have stop losses. Exited out of RSKD, and it's continuing lower now. That's very sad to see, because I was up over $400 on this trade, got greedy, didn't take any shares out of this thing, and then it just sold off all day yesterday. It was pretty hurtful to see. We have PAAS. As you guys know, I've been very, very bearish on gold and silver lately, and I tried to take 2 shorts on this thing yesterday. It wasn't the right time. Or I took too many shares and I didn't hold in overnight. Now look at it. I'd be up over $1,000 if I would have just been able to hold, but
I have my stop losses. I keep them really tight, and I rather take small losses than take one big loss and then have to make up for it. So just keeping an eye on this because, you know, I still would like to get into this short, but I need it for the right time. I really like this short. When it came up here, I shorted here and risked just a little higher. I think 21.50 is what I risked, and it ended up stopping me out, and then it wasn't too much longer. It was about 18 more cents if I could have held on. But you know, I had over 1,000 shares of this thing, so didn't want to risk it too much. Took a small loss, no big deal. But yesterday was one of my biggest days. I was up over 5.5% in my account yesterday. That was absolutely beautiful, guys. And I was glad a lot of you guys were here with me for it. And if you guys are looking at anything that I'm not, just let me know. Of course, we have ARM. ARM is definitely in play today. It was looking very, very nice. Beautiful uptrend as NVIDIA pulls back. ARM continued to ride that wave, continued to head higher. I know B. Stewie is in this trade. Very impressive trade, brother. Very extended from the 10-day now. I am curious if you have taken profits from this yet, because I know that you got it back here, I think roughly around 128. I think that's where you got it. Around 128 is when you took this trade. And it wasn't extended. And now it's pretty extended, and I'm curious, opposed to where your stop loss was and where the stock is actually at, have you taken profits yet? That's the real question. We had NVCR on the trend breakout. It did break out, but this is why we take profits, guys, because it broke out and now it's trading lower than it was before. So DDL, some of these I'm going to end up taking off my watch list here very soon. You can see this is the gold, a gold corporation. This thing is also trading lower after it hit that area of resistance. We have IPW. This was taken out by Danny before, so that was very nice. We got Kevo Paban. Hello, I lost your stream, but I'm glad I'm back. Hey, I'm glad you're back too, brother. Let me know what you're watching. We can keep an eye on it as well. And Predator says, this question may not be good for the video, but I can't seem to get my stop by using Active Trader. To my eyes, it looks like it's trying to sell an option because it keeps issuing 100 shares. Sure, so we can go over that actually, Predator. That's a really good question. So we click on Active Trader up here, and there's a quantity button. If you don't see the quantity button right here, you can click on this cog over here on the right-hand side. You click on that cog, and you can scroll through this and find what you want to do. So if you want to find a quantity button, you want to, right here is the quantity button. If you see it over here, you just click on it and you click Add Item. Okay? Just like you can click on these buttons and remove items, and then you're going to click OK. And then you'll have a quantity pop up here, and then if it's stuck on 100, you're going to erase this, and you can put 10, you can put 1,000, you can put 1,000,000, you can put 2K. You know, there's always ways to add and sell these, okay? You also want to make sure your TIF, which is, I don't know what TIF stands for, but it's going to be your time, the time of day, okay? Which is day, good till close, extended. You want to make sure that you are on day. So if you're trying to buy or sell using Active Trader, then you'll scroll through this, and then you can click on it, okay? And it'll create your stop loss for you. Also, do keep in mind, there are some penny stocks that, let's see, Puerto Rico, yeah, baby. Kevo. Hey, were you one of the OGs, bro, from last year? I think I remember you, man. Or are you pretty recent? Are you back here from last year, Kevo? Dude, hell yeah. Back when we were Lo-Fi Trader, right? Were you here from then, or are you still pretty new? Let me know, man. If you're an OG, thank you so much for sticking with me, man. It's awesome to have you guys. Nothing but love. Shoot some love your way. Predator says, do I just edit the order? First time using Active Trader, so I don't want to make a mistake. Kevo, hell yeah, dude. I'm so pumped, dude. That is so cool. I do remember you now, man. Back when I had the whiteboard behind me. Yep. I think we're going to do another whiteboard because I really like being able to turn around and write things down. What's in play, you know, write down that subscription thing. But yeah, dude, I'm glad you're here. Listen, Kevo, if you want, we have a Discord. I can shoot you the Discord really quick. You're more than welcome to join it. We actually have meetings almost every night except for Fridays and Saturdays. We have meetings at 9 p.m., dude. We go over everything, man. And I just put that Discord in the channel. If you want to join the Discord, everything's free, just like it always has been, Kevo. And I'm really, really pumped to have you back in this. I'm glad you're back in here, man. Time in force. Thank you very much, Predator. Yeah, time in force. But yeah. So IPW is definitely one we're keeping an eye on, but it's looking a little too choppy for me, so it's not one that I'm really, watching. I do want to go back to Tesla. Let's see if that short idea would have worked. And it does look like it is starting to kind of like sell off here. You can see right here, a big sell off here. So that short idea was true, but the question is, why didn't I short it? Well, because I'm bullish on this trade. I'm expecting to see Tesla take off here. I want to see Tesla break out higher. I want to see Tesla continue higher. And I think this base down here at this 172, 173 area, I think it holds. I think it holds, and I think we continue higher. But of course, I don't have a crystal ball. I never know really what's going to happen. I've been wrong a million times before, so this might be 1,000,001. But what I do know is if the price action tells me and the volume tells me with the price, which is price action, if it wants to head higher and wants to break higher above this, I'm going to be a part of it. I'm going to at least bet. I'm going to put a bet on it. I'm going to put a risk to reward area. I'm going to use risk management to play Tesla, and I'll probably take a pretty good sizable amount. All right. Let's see where we're at today. Yeah, just kind of teetering around that 30K, no big deal. ANF isn't doing anything. I don't mind this pullback for ANF, to be quite honest. The S&P 500 is heading higher, so I was hoping, in all due respect with the word of hope, I was hoping that ANF would follow suit with it. But yesterday when the market was just trading sideways, if you guys remember, ANF was just ripping to the north side. So I'm okay with it. We'll just give it plenty of time. We got plenty of room down here for it to come down for my break-even area. So we'll see what it wants to do. ASTS, NVIDIA is just trading sideways right now. But it's nice to see a little bit of breadth in the market as the S&P 500 heads higher, and it's not due to NVIDIA, it's not due to any of these tech corporations. IWM popped back up here, bounced off that VWAP area. Let's take a look at Bitcoin too, guys. I need to throw Bitcoin, actually. I need to bring this up here. Come on now. Let's bring that Bitcoin up to the top of the top. There we go. All right, so Bitcoin's not holding onto that trend line that I drew, so we can go ahead and exit out of that. It's also not holding onto that VWAP area, so we should see respectfully IREN pulling back, which we are, and WULF pulling back, which we are. So that's why we want to keep on those areas. We want to keep an eye on those areas because in respect to Bitcoin, those miners are going to move. Okay, so that's just what we're keeping an eye on. All right, let's see what else we got going on here, guys. No more data today. We have a ton of data coming out next week, though. A ton of data coming out next week. I can just bring that up for you. I was looking at it earlier today. It's nuts. So next week is very, very important. I'll just bring this in front of you right here for you. Right here for you guys. Holy cow, what a mess. So let's see, next week. So next week, this is looking ugly, hang on. All right, so Tuesday, next week. We have the 10-year note auction. I don't keep a close eye on that, but I will say that the core CPI, the month over month and the year over year, whoa, don't do that. Don't do that to me. Next week, 10-year note. So Wednesday, June 12th, we have core PCI month over month and for the year over year. That CPI is also coming out. So core CPI, it's pretty much the same thing. One just excludes your the core doesn't have your food or your energy in it. Okay, and then you have the FOMC economic projections, which is going to be very interesting. It's going to be a meeting, the FOMC statements and the interest rate decision. That's all happening on Wednesday. Now, the interest rate decision, I will be streaming live here for you guys. You don't have to worry about going anywhere else. If you're a part of this channel, if you're liked and you're subscribed, if you hit the notification bell, you'll know right when I go live, okay? And we will make sure that we follow this interest rate press conference after the decision. I will be live during the FOMC statement, the Fed interest rate decision, and the FOMC press conference. You will hear it first just like you did before. Then the very next day, we'll have initial jobless claims and PPI. Those aren't going to be nearly as fruitful as the interest rate decision, which we are expected to stay at 5.5 at least until September, okay? And Kevo, it looks like you just joined. Are you Nuno? Everybody give a warm welcome to Nuno in the Discord. All right. So yeah, huge data getting dropped next month, guys. Or next week, okay? So Tuesday, not so much, but Wednesday, you better stay tuned. I might just be on here all stinking day because of this FOMC meeting. I might wake up in the morning on Wednesday, start streaming, and I will do an all-day stream. An all-day stream. And while I have you guys here, do me a favor, look at my screen, because we want to make sure that we click this live button. Right here is the live button. You want to make sure you're up to date while you're watching, and then click this like button. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, guys. We want to make sure that we continue to bring you the absolute best content. And while you are here, I would like you to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. There's 10 of you watching. I know we can get 10 likes on this at least, so smash that like button for me, guys. It would I would greatly appreciate it. I do all this for you for free, and that's probably the only thing I ask of you. Like and subscribe, and if you want more, we have a Discord. If you want more, just hit the notification bell. We do data. We give you the data drops, just like I already released a video this morning on that data, the unemployment data. So it's very, very nice to have. So I'm glad you guys are here. I really am glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are here with me. So yeah, that data drop, man, that Fed interest rate decision is probably going to be a 5.5. That's, I mean, if we look at the CME Fed tool, let's take a look at the CME Fed tool really quick while we're here. And we look at the CME Fed tool, you guys will see, here, I'll blow this up a little bit better so we can see it. Using the CME Fed tool, you can see that we have a 99.4% chance that we are going to stay at 5.5%, or technically we're at 5.33%, okay? And that we are going to stay at this rate, okay? You can see that that is the overall consensus. But in July, we are most likely to also stay. Now we have an 8.8% chance that we're actually going to come down a quarter of a rate, but I don't see it happening because it's 8.8%. I would have put my money on that. But now September, we have a 50% chance now that we're going to come down a quarter of a rate point. Okay, it's much higher. It's actually lower than it was yesterday, probably due to the data that got dropped. But at 50% chance, those are better odds. September is looking much, much better. Okay, so Kevo, yeah, I'm glad you're in the chat, homie. I'm glad you're in the chat. Make sure you click. I think you have to click the read me and scroll to the bottom of it in order to be able to talk. But we just welcomed you in that Discord. Glad you're in there. The OG baby from last year, B Stewie and Nuno in the house. Kevo Poblana, I'm pumped that you are back, baby. How have you been doing, man? How's your trading going? How's everything going with you, man? Let me know, man. Out there in Puerto Rico, my good friend in Puerto Rico. We got a couple of you Puerto Ricans in this space right now. IREN looks like it's having a nice little bounce here. I do want to make sure we get through the rest of this watch list because we had ONON as well on here. Look at ONON. It's still ripping. It's still holding those gains. This is beautiful. I tried to get into this once before, and this thing, okay, we got Tesla. Let's take a little peeky look at Tesla. So if we look at Tesla let's look at it on the 5 minutes so we can take some of this data in. My charts are going wonky stupid right now. So like, let's just go ahead and draw a trend line here. All right. So if it breaks out here, this might be a nice area to use as this lowest risk. All right, I'm gonna bring this back on the 1 minute and we'll look at the daily right here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the 1 minute. So you guys can see what it looks like, okay? So if it can break out here, but is it gonna break out here? Most likely, no. Most likely it's gonna fail. But if it does start to break out and we start to see volume, that might be a good area to get in, right? Man, I'm getting a little itchy. I'm getting the trigger finger. I'm getting the itch to short this thing. Because then I can exit and switch my position if it doesn't work out. But I'm going to hold off, guys, just because I'm bullish. I'm bullish on this. I don't want to, I don't want to do this. If it breaks out and starts heading to the north side on volume, this might be a great area to take this trade. But, we have to wait until there's a ton of volume. And this is my trade. This isn't your trade, guys. This is my trade. This is my ideas. I highly do not recommend you following any of my trades. Or anybody else's trades for that matter, because you don't trade the same way as everybody else does. You don't know where my ins, my outs, my risk management is in place. You don't know how many shares I'm taking, or even if this is real money. This could be completely fake. I could be completely faking all of this, right? So you use high skepticism in the market, okay? Use high skepticism in the market. Don't trust anybody because everybody's out to get you. Everybody's out to take your money, okay? But listen, there's a ton of scammers too, especially in that Discord, dude. I've had so many people reach out to me lately. That's how you know you made it. When you get a bunch of people messaging you that somebody's acting like me, trying to get them to, I don't even know what, do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I will never slide into your DMs. I'll never private message you, I will never do any of that. As much as I love you guys, I will talk to you through the general chat where everybody can see it. You know what I mean? So it sucks that we got scammers. I can protect you in the community, in the general chat, but I can't protect your DMs. You know what I mean? I can't control your account and the messages that you get. If I could, I would delete every scammer that came through that had my ugly ass face on there. Somebody else is using my picture. They're really trying. Oh, man. But yeah, so the overall consensus is going to be in September. 50% chance that we're gonna lower the basis point by 1/4%. Okay, and if say for some crazy reason we do lower in July or June, you better believe that's going to take the market by storm, and the market's going to go absolutely nutso. It would be crazy if we could actually do that. It really would. It'd be crazy. I've heard many stories where if the Fed decides to cut rate and it's a surprise, they do a surprise rate cut, the market just goes flying to the north side. It's crazy. Pelosi knows. Pelosi knows before the rate cuts are going to happen. Old Papa Powell's whispering in her ear going, hey, listen, we're going to cut rates by 3/4 percentage point on July. And Pelosi's like, I got this. She's out of the money, spy options, oh man, I tell you, there's got to be some inside information going on there. And they always say too, that money, big money always cuddles up to big money. You know what I mean? So like if you're closer, if you got big money and you cuddle up to big money, you're gonna know, you're gonna have a better consensus of what's going on, right? You're gonna have a better understanding of what's going on in the overall markets, right? It's just, it's kind of common sense. You know what I mean? So SPY, the S&P 500 looks like it's it wants to hold here, but it looks like it's starting to curl. Let's take a look at this. Okay. My charts are going wonky on me today. It looks like it's starting to curl over here. Let's see if it can hold. Every time it came down, it's starting to get soaked back up, but it looks like it's starting to curl. Now we're looking at it on the 1 minute. Let's look at the 5 minute. It does look like it's starting to curl on the 5. Let's look at the hourly. This is called confluency, right? You want to see time confluency, right? And this here, we can see the hourly had a big pop up, and now we're into an area of resistance. So there might be a reason for it to curl or trade sideways for a little bit. So that's no big deal. I think it would be healthy for it to curl back down, maybe bounce off the VWAP area once again, or maybe it just fails, Red Baron's in the house. What up, Red Baron? Red Baron just joined the Discord. All right, cool. It's glad to see we're always growing. Great family too, Kevo Paban says. Yeah, hell yeah, man. It's good to hear that. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build an awesome community out here. We want to make sure everybody's happy, healthy, comfortable, all that good stuff. I did end up taking a short here on Tesla. We're up about $60. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of half of my share here. We're gonna take $30 out of the trade. I got a little itchy trigger finger there. I seen it starting to roll over. I'm just gonna take that last piece now and I'm gonna set it to break even, because that's how I do it all. And look at this, it's coming right back up. So we'll say we earned an easy 30 bucks on that trade. I'm just sitting here, guys. I'm just sitting here hanging out, taking trades. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't stop me out. We'll see. But I'm expecting this thing to be bullish. If it holds new higher lows for me, I'm going to switch my consensus and go long. But every time it comes up to this resistance area, this trend area, it seems like it wants to be shorted. So that's just what I did. I decided to take 300 shares short. We got 300 shares short. We played it to VWAP. We exited out a half. Now we bring our stop loss down to break even rather than that high of day. Now we're at break even. I'm holding 150 shares short for the bigger expected move. If it gets all the way back down here to 177, I'll go ahead and take out that last 150 and we'll net a much bigger profit on this trade, okay? So I'm just day trading here for you guys. Now there's much bigger trades out there like ANF right now. It's kind of pulling back as the overall market goes up. ASTS just kind of trading sideways for me, but mostly on a downtrend here, which I have plenty of room. I've given this plenty of room to play out. We also have NVIDIA. We're still holding NVIDIA. And keep in mind, guys, we're still up $95 on Abercrombie & Fitch. We're up $341 on ASTS. We're up $409 on this last piece of NVDA, okay? We're up $90 currently on that Tesla short, okay? We're up $223 on our long-term investment VOO. I showed you guys how I entered this trade and how I'm doing a long-term investment. We also have VTI, which I'm up $351 on. This is also another long-term investment. We do all kinds of trading here, guys. All kinds of trading, day trading, swing trading, and long-term investing. Some people might say that's crazy. I say, hey, if there's money to be made, I'm gonna freaking make it. That's how we do it here. And that's how we learn. We learn from the best. And look at that, just as I say that, Abercrombie & Fitch does a complete reversal and rip tater chips right back up to that VWAP area on a little bit of volume. Much volume than it's traded all day today. So that's nice. That's why we give it that room. That's why we give it that room. Now let's look at the S&P 500. It looks like it's popping back up, okay? So it looks like things are looking very positive. Look at this. It just broke new highs for the day. It's looking very well. I still think it has the ability to curl and bounce. It's only going to be healthy if it does. I would love to see this S&P 500. Let me blow this up for you. I would love to see this S&P 500 trade sideways again, build a base on top of a base. I guarantee everybody is waiting for next Wednesday. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen until after Wednesday, because everybody's going to wait until after Papa Powell comes out and talks, and they're going to do a whole bunch of deep dives on his FOMC minutes, on how he acted, whether it was hawkish or whether it was dovish. There's going to be so much that goes into this, you know. So let's see here, guys. It's 10:36. I think I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I just want to tell you guys one last time, if you look at my screen before we go, let me refresh this. We'll see what we're up to. I think we got 8 of you guys still watching here. Go ahead and make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I absolutely love being here for you. I love doing this. We don't have a meeting tonight. It is Friday, so I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. But of course, I will always be bringing you that data. We did a piece of data out there today, so if you haven't watched it yet already, make sure you watch that. It's in the YouTube short section of my YouTube videos, okay? So I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And Kevo Plban, welcome back, OG. Welcome back, baby. Glad you're here, man. Glad to see you guys. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.